Jam is a train wreck. Oh, Jam is so awful. Oh, nauseous and boring, stupid and lame. Jam is truly an outrage. Truly an outrage. No, Jam is not in this movie, not groovy. This movie sucks. I want back my $8. Oh, this movie sucks. But we're the misfits. Our casting's better, but we don't come in till the tail end. So we'll never get her. Jam. The nauseous, contagious, outrageous. This movie sucks. I want back my $8. Oh, this movie sucks.
Hi there. I'm the Invisible Man. And today on Reboot Theater, we look at a film so bad, it made me physically ill to watch it. You think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. I actually felt nauseous just watching this thing. It was that bad. This is one of, if not the single worst movie I have ever seen. I refer, of course, to the 2015 box office bomb that was Jem and the Holograms. Based on the 80s cartoon of the same name, Jem and the Holograms was about a singer named Jerrica who lived a double life as the pop superstar Jem, which is basically just Hannah Montana, except the lead singer doesn't sound like a screaming goat. Jerrica would disguise herself using space-age hologram technology generated by a supercomputer named Synergy. Along with her band of sisters, one biological and two adopted, Jem would go on crazy adventures and get into mischief. They would often fend off attacks from a rival band known as the Misfits, who would not rest until Jem and her band were taken down for good.
Hey, get out from there! Misfits, beat it!
Now, I didn't grow up with the cartoon. In fact, I never even heard of it until this movie came out. So I'm not sure how good it was in the 80s, but by today's standards, it's pretty bad. This animation and writing did not age well.
Jerrica, there's somebody downstairs. Go to keep the other girls upstairs.
But that's to be expected from something that was made 30 years ago. I mean, I used to love Inspector Gadget as a kid, but now I watch those same episodes and think, wow, nostalgia's a hell of a drug. Still, I would take any episode of that show over that one. Or that one. Nevertheless, Jem did have a substantial following in its heyday, and it even gained a new following once the episodes were put on Netflix. So when this movie was announced, Jem fans went nuts. Everyone was eager to see their favorite pop star on the big screen, only to be disappointed once they saw just how little Jem was actually in the movie.
What the fuck was that?
Chickbait, Jem Reacts. Go watch it. It's comedic gold. This live-action adaptation of the cartoon was meant to be the first in a series of films featuring the classic cartoon characters. Kinda like... can't even say it. The difference is, while that movie strayed a lot from its original show, and I mean a lot, it at least followed a fifth of the story accurately? Maybe? But Jem ignores all of its source material. While the original show featured 30-year-olds, this movie revolves around millennials. It also features no 80s music, no 80s fashion, no rival bands, no supercomputers, and no actual holograms. How can you even call this a Jem movie? I wasn't a fan of the show, but even I will say that compared to this film, the cartoon looks like a work of majesty and brilliance. This movie is too awful for words to describe. And if you would believe it, so few people saw this movie, it was pulled from theaters after only 2 weeks. You heard that right, 2 weeks. Even the worst of movies usually stay up for a month at least, but not Jem, no. This is a special kind of awful that no one, and I mean no one, wanted to see. Now the time has come. This is Jem and the Holograms. Brace yourselves. The movie opens with our main character, Jerrica, played by Aubrey Peoples. Wait, why does that name sound familiar? Sorry about that. Out of all the actors you could have possibly gotten, Sharknado girl? Really? Did you call everyone else in Hollywood but they all said no? Was she the only actress available? She's not even blonde!
It's the truth, which is what I, Jerrica Benton, am here to confess to you.
It's like watching cardboard come to life. Minus the life! Why couldn't you get a better known actress, like Stephanie Scott or somebody?
When I was 8, I moved here from Los Angeles with my little sister Kimber.
Oh, so they did get her. But then they gave her the role of the little sister instead. Isn't that great? Not only is Stephanie a way more recognizable actress, but in my opinion, she has way more personality than Peoples. I'm fully convinced she's the one who should have played Jem. Why would you sideline her as the sidekick?
Her life is just an open ebook for
to
see.
Sorry, that line just made me gag. Open ebook. Are you kidding me with that? Who in the right mind says open ebook? That's not a thing! And I know exactly what you were going for. You thought, hey, millennials love technology, so let's talk technology to be hip. No, you've done the exact opposite of what you wanted to do. You've just proven that you don't know anything about millennials, which are supposed to be your target audience. And believe me, this is going to be a recurring theme. Just you wait. So we got Stephanie Scott for Kimber, but what about Shayna?
Shayna, who is a fashionista who thinks way outside the box.
No, really? That's Shayna? Really? So, a lot of people got upset by Aurora Perrineau, I think I'm pronouncing that right, playing Shayna. Yes, she is mixed race, but that didn't stop the haters from calling out whitewashing. I personally don't care because I wasn't that invested to begin with, but I can definitely see why people would be upset with this casting. So we got a bad actress for Jem, a great one for Kimber, a questionable one for Shayna. Logic follows we probably won't get anyone else good to play Aja.
And Aja, who's a part-time genius, full-time badass.
Haley Kiyoko? Hell yeah! So wait, they got two well-known respectable actors for this movie? But that wasted them both on side characters? And you know, it wouldn't be so bad if they just gave them some character development. But instead, they just tell you who they all are in only 3 minutes. Here's Kimber. She loves Instagram. This is Shayna. She makes clothes. Asia, she's a hacker. And that's all you need to know. It's not like these girls were a huge part of the original series. And here we have the first of many examples of this movie ripping off Josie and the Pussycats. You know how that movie was stupid, but it worked because it was self-aware of how stupid it was? Well, Jem does the same thing, only it's not treated as a joke. They act as if this is actually enough backstory for newcomers. As if you didn't need to watch the show to know who these characters are! In addition, we learned that Jerrica's father died years ago. But what did he die of exactly? Yeah, that figures. To be fair, they didn't tell us in the show either, but really? You couldn't have thrown in any explanation?
He would call me his diamond in the rough, or Jem.
Oh, so that's where she got her name from. Even though Jem is usually spelled with a G, not a J. I mean, unless you hang out with Boo Radley or something. Before his death, Mr. Benton managed to build a robot called 51N3RG.Y. Wait, that's not Synergy, is it? Oh my god! Are you serious? No. Here's what you guys don't understand. Synergy was the coolest thing on the original show. Even I, a non-fan, can acknowledge she was super cool. Synergy was a supercomputer that created all of Jem's holograms, and she had artificial intelligence which was based off of Jem's dead mother. She served as a maternal figure to the girls, giving them advice in times of need. Now you're going to tell me this was the best you could do for her? Look at this thing, it's a toy! It's like one of those BB-8 toys I could get at Target. Is this really supposed to be impressive? This thing doesn't even talk! Well, it's official. We're not even 5 minutes in yet, and already they've made this movie unrecognizable. If they hadn't actually called this Jem and the Holograms, would you have any idea what you were watching? Because I would guess a Star Wars fan film. With the droid and the awkward girl, it would make a lot more sense than this. I mean, what's next? They're all foster kids living with their aunt, Molly Ringwald?
Aunt Bailey took us in 10 years ago when Kimber and I had nowhere else to go. And the five of us have been a family ever since.
Oh, poor Molly. She was on top of the world in her teens, and now she's been reduced to this! It's hard to believe Riverdale was actually a step up. But hey, at least we got something from the 80s in this movie. Lord knows we didn't get much else. Achievement unlocked! 1/8 of the Brat Pack!
This many girls under one roof, recipe for disaster, right? Well, if you're thinking that, that's sexist, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Calm down!
No, I'm not gonna calm down. I spent my own money on
I need
this.
to actually.
Hello?
My God, who directed this thing? A 36-year-old man? Oh, goody. The director of Crazy Rich Asians, Now You See Me Too, and 2 Justin Bieber movies. You got such a resume there, John. Mwah! I mean, wow. You've actually gotta try pretty damn hard to portray people in a light this unflattering. This is the millennial equivalent to blackface, which makes no sense because I thought this movie was supposed to be aimed towards millennials. Why would you want to piss off your target audience? On top of that, they also give fans of the original a punch in the face with this next line.
Look, I'm just tired of you improving my clothes, okay? I don't want to look like a fashion refugee from 1985.
1985? In an 80s nostalgia movie, we have fashion from 1985? Well, we wouldn't want that, now would we? But it's okay, because Molly Ringwald has a foolproof technique to end the fighting.
Girls, come on! Kimber, hit a C note.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, let's go. I know that I messed up and I'm sorry. Okay? Come here.
Yeah, get used to this, because it shows up a lot in this film. Anytime they have any problem, they just sing together and it's over like that. Imagine if they did this in other movies. How stupid do you think it would be then?
Tell me where you sent the Death Star plans, or I will destroy every planet in the galaxy!
Okay, Dad, hit a C note.
What? Why?
It'll calm you down, come on.
Ooh.
Feeling better?
Yeah, I kinda am. I'm sorry, I won't destroy anything anymore. Let's go pick up your brother and we can be one big happy family.
And they never met Han Solo, which means Kylo Ren was never born! Yay! Next, the sisters decide to record a fun music video. And to be honest, it's one of the few good things in this movie. Yeah, the music is original, fun and upbeat, and it actually sounds like the music they had on the show. On top of that, look how much stage presence Stephanie Scott has here. A good voice, good charisma. I can't believe you wasted her as the little sister! Why did you even cast big names in this movie if you weren't planning to give them big roles?
How do I look?
Truly?
Don't say it. I'm begging you not to say it.
Outrageous.
Face clear. We then learn that Jerrica doesn't want to sing because she gets terrible stage fright. Okay, problem solved. Hand the mic to Stephanie. She's Jim now. Well, as much as we all wish that would happen, Jerrica films a video later that night singing an original song to acoustic guitar. And her sister uploads the video to YouTube without permission. Now, you see, that is the situation where you are supposed to get a copyright claim. And get this, the video goes viral overnight. Really? Overnight? You think that's realistic? And on top of that, they can't even figure out how many views it's gotten.
And you're wearing the necklace I designed. 36,000 freaking people just saw my necklace.
Okay, that's not unreasonable. 36,000 views in one night is very doable, except that's not what it means to go viral. Nothing goes viral with 36,000 views. On YouTube, that is pocket change. But let's assume it was a slip of the tongue, and the actual number was 36 million views. Equally ridiculous. Even the most popular YouTubers in the world only get around 7 million views in the first 24 hours. How do you expect a random girl out of nowhere to become the next Beyonce? Overnight! Speaking of which, Jerrica attracts the interest of a record label named Starlight Records, which was Jerrica's company on the show, but anyway. The company is owned and operated by a woman named Jerrica Raymond? Eric O. Raymond? As in a female Eric Raymond?
No, why?
This is wrong. This is all kinds of wrong. On the show, the character's name was Eric Raymond. He was a sexist jerk who didn't believe women should be involved in business. And he tried to force Jerrica out of her own company more than a few times so he could own her record company all to himself. And when Jerrica would overcome him and succeed, you would cheer that much more for her because she was a strong female proving there should be equality amongst the sexes. She proved to the world that anything a man can do in business, a woman can do too. But here, you made the villain a woman. So the sexist undertones are completely gone. The fact that you cast someone of the opposite gender in the role is actually counterproductive. You're not saying, hey, this role was originally written for a man, but a woman's playing it because women can do anything. Instead, you're saying, hey, feminists are just selfish jerks that only care about themselves. And of course, you're once again being unfaithful to the show, which will just further piss off original Gem fans. There is literally no reason to do this! But aside from the gender flip, how good is Juliette Lewis in this role?
I want you all to think of this as an opportunity to reinvent yourselves. Escape, forget all that dismal mediocrity that you grew up in.
Cut! Ooh, cut!
Ugh, yeah, this is painful to watch. In fact, it's so bad, I can't enjoy any of her roles now. Hope you're happy there, Jules. You just ruined Christmas vacation for me. So Jerrica sends an email to Eric Raymond, accepting her offer for a record deal. And for some reason, this random YouTube video of a drum battle plays. Speaking of YouTube, after just one video, she's popular enough for a record deal? It worked as a satire, guys. It does not work when you're being serious. Wait a second. Does anyone else notice something off about this conversation? Like how this email was sent at 8:09, then the next one at 8:10, and the next one after that at 8:09 again? Either she's taking a really long time to respond, or someone in the tech department screwed up. Wait, what? Did she really just send an email with 3 dots in it?
Why?
Erica initially only wants to sign Jerrica, but Jerrica insists on bringing her sisters with her. Erica responds with a review of this movie! Oh, of course! She just mixed up the poo emoji with driver will pick up everybody in the AM! Darn you, autocorrect! So the girls pack up their bags to head to LA and live the rock star life.
My name is Zipper, ma'am.
Zipper? Zipper? The man who burned Jem's house down with a bunch of orphans inside? That's the guy you want driving you? No. You'd have to be insane to get in a car with him. So they all get in a car with him. Jerrica even brings Synergy with her, even though she's already stated Synergy doesn't work. Why would she bring dead weight with her that doesn't work and is totally useless? Because plot armor! So they get on the road and... Wait, what? Oh my god! Oh my god! Could you be any more lazy? It's bad enough you just recorded Google Earth for this, but couldn't you at least have blurred the logo? Or cropped the frame? Or put a different logo over it? Or better yet, just scrap the map, buy a drone, and just film them driving! Seriously, what the WTF is this? Even for a low-budget movie, this is a new level of lame! Once they arrive, they meet Rio, Erica's son? Rio is not Eric Raymond's son. I don't know where they came up with that, but that's not how it works. After that, they all go up to Erica's office, where she evaluates the band.
Kimber, not trying enough.
And by evaluate, I of course mean she just insults them for no reason. To be fair, Eric Raymond was always a jerk on the original series, but he was a jerk when he wanted money or power, not just for no reason at all. This is Bonnie all over again.
You're gonna have to lose the earrings. They're so last season, like 30 years ago.
It was at this point in the movie, I screamed at the top of my lungs. Ah! No joke, I actually did that. You just took away the one shred of anything resembling the original show. Gem's not even wearing her star earrings? Really? Okay. To clarify, the earrings were an essential part of the original show. The earrings are the projectors through which Gem creates all of her holograms. They disguise her on stage, they create visual effects, and they even help her get out of sticky situations. But now that she's not even wearing them, you can be pretty much positive there won't be any of that. And just when you thought we were done with Google Earth, guess again. Where's the music? Oh, there it is. What a relief. I felt weird not having some random song playing in the background. Then we get a montage of dresses, wigs, and sassy poses as the world's most self-absorbed song plays.
Pink. I mean, it's always been my favorite color.
Oh, hi, Samantha Newark, original voice of Gem. Soak it in, guys. This is her only appearance. After a long day, they head to holy motherforking shirt balls. Is this really going to be all over the entire movie? You know what? Let's not dwell on it every time. It's just not worth it. The girls head to their new living arrangements in Starlight Mansion. Okay, that's not bad. That is from the original show.
Hey, are these for us? Yes.
I'm a thief now. So remember, kids, if something looks cool and there's no one around to claim it, it's yours for the taking.
I'll put them back later.
Thanks, Gem Movie, for being such a positive role model. But that night, Jerrica discovers that Synergy actually does work, and its on switch was triggered by a geofence.
Brought that broken old thing.
Thank you! Why would she have brought that? If it never worked before, what was she planning to do with it? Synergy recognizes Jerrica's face, even though all the pictures it has on file are at least 10 years old, and it turns into a facehugger! Just kidding, but that would have been a good plot twist. They learn that the robot communicates using music instead of words, because after all, who wants to speak with the first sentient AI ever?
Show's over, Synergy. What else you got?
Oh, did you hear that? She said the thing. It was the completely wrong time to say it, but at least she said it. Then Synergy projects a 2D image onto the ceiling, which is kind of like a hologram. No, it's not. And the girls decide to go on a scavenger hunt in the middle of the night. Why?
He must have wanted us to finish what he never could, right?
What are you talking about? As far as I can tell, this robot is a miracle of technology. It's finished. Can't you just leave well enough alone? But hey, at least we get a random YouTube video out of it. Will this relate to anything? Moving on. Okay, borrowing the car and bringing it back I can get. But Aja just turned from lovable troublemaker to kleptomaniac. You're stealing money out of his wallet? Where do you get the nerve?
You are a horrible person.
But at least it's followed by the women can't drive stereotype. Oh, even better! The Asians can't drive stereotype. Even though on the show, Aja was the mechanic of the band and she knew cars better than anybody. Why on earth would she not be able to drive one? Using their favorite website, they travel to Santa Monica Pier, which for some reason leaves their lights on even when they're closed, and they discover some pipes which make the same sounds as Synergy.
That's the same song that turned Synergy on.
I know what song turns me on.
She's my cherry pie. Proving a woman such a sweet surprise.
Maybe it could be moved to make the right note?
Females are strong as hell.
Upon turning the pipe, they discover a hidden compartment with a piece of Synergy inside. When they plug it into the robot, Synergy has another stroke and projects another image, this time leading them to the open air club. But Rio followed them by tracking the GPS in the car, and he warns them they set off the silent alarm when they entered. So he suggests they all jump off the pier to avoid getting caught.
Come on, you gotta jump sometime.
You sure that's a good idea? Okay, no, that's not how it ends. Even though I could make an argument for why it should. They all survive with no injuries and escape the cops. Even though I'm pretty sure they got their DNA and fingerprints all over the pier. And they have a car registered in Rio's name sitting in the parking lot. Would they really be that hard to find? We then cut to the next day, where the girls are rehearsing for their gig at the open air club. Brava! You'll be a great opening act! What? They're the main event? Oh, you're screwed.
And one more thing to help with the mystery.
Hologram earrings? That your dad told you to give to Jerrica when she came of age? No, a pair of cheap sunglasses. Who are you, ZZ Top?
Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses.
Well, apparently they operate on Superman logic, where glasses are all it takes to make you unrecognizable.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only.
Britta Phillips, original singing voice of Gem.
You got this.
The spark of the original? No, you'll never have that, but go on stage anyway. Then we finally get what we came to see. Gem and the Holograms performing on the big screen. Now, admittedly, this song is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Don't look at me! It's fun and energetic, and it's got a nice beat to it. Of course, it's somewhat ruined when you see she's clearly not singing at the beginning.
Who's got the heart of a hunter?
Move your lips! And we all know it's not an original song because the same year this movie came out, so did Taylor Swift's song Bad Blood. What's the name of this song? Young Blood. And on top of that, I feel like this is a direct ripoff of another Taylor Swift song. Wow, they just gave up on originality, didn't they? And this leads to the upteenth problem with this movie. Pandering. You really thought we wouldn't notice this? This obvious nostalgia grab for Disney Channel fans? We got Stephanie Scott from Ant Farm, Haley Kiyoko from Wizards and Lemonade Mouth, and the whole thing is an obvious Hannah Montana ripoff. Did you really think no one would notice this? That not a single person would notice what you were doing? How unbelievably lazy you could possibly get. These filmmakers should have tried. They should have shown a lot more effort than this. But they just didn't care enough to make anything worthwhile. This is a testament to the laziness of the human race. I just want to point out, this movie was made on a budget of $5 million. $5 million! And do you know what they did with all that money? They bought wigs at Party City, did screen recordings of Google Maps, and downloaded YouTube videos with no relation to anything. You know who else could do that? Literally anybody! I feel like I could make a better movie than this, and I wouldn't need 5 million smackaroonies to do it. Just give me a camera and an afternoon, and I'll make something way closer to the original show. I assume they were going in a different direction than the original, but that's the whole problem. Fans of the original Gem aren't going to be into Hannah Montana. Hell, I'm part of the target age group for that show, and even I despised Hannah Montana. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hannah Montana was based off Gem. Which means instead of making a Gem movie based on the cartoon, they made a movie based on a different show based on the cartoon. Dude, what the fork? I haven't seen an adaptation this far off from the original since... Well, okay, it's hard to pick just one, but I mean... Just wow. Then halfway through the song, Gem notices the guitar from Synergy's video is hanging on the wall. Before she can think up an excuse to get over there... So Gem hypes up the crowd to get them to help with the show, and finishes the song on acoustic. Probably the best thing about this is the look on Erica's face. I don't believe it. She's playing acoustic guitar live? I've never seen that before.
I think you've done it again.
Thinking was never your strong suit.
Remind me again why I keep this job. So after they play presumably one song, the show's already over, and the power's back on. How convenient! Inside the guitar, they find a second clue from Jerrica's father, but when they plug it in, nothing happens. Too bad Synergy can't just talk to Jerrica and tell her what to do next. Kinda leaving it open-ended there, Pops. And by the way, did I mention Jerrica constantly narrates inspirational quotes? Yeah, that's a thing.
We each have a rhythm inside of us. Our heartbeat, and it connects us all. No translation required.
You like that? I read that in a fortune cookie. Then we see the world's reactions to Gem after the show.
I love Gem music. It's amazing. It's like real music.
Or at least, that's what they want you to think. But what if I told you that all these clips, every single one, was talking about the Gem cartoon? Yeah, no joke. None of them are talking about the movie. You see, the filmmakers held a contest for fans of the original show to send in their videos about why they love Jem. If the clips were good enough, they would be put in the movie.
We really want to know. You could even post pictures of you dressed up as her. Whatever it is, we want to see and hear your passion for the original Jem.
However, no one told the fans ahead of time that they were going to take their clips out of context and they were going to make it sound like they were talking about the movie Jem. You know, the Jem no one had seen when they made those videos? That's the Jem they're supposed to be talking about. Then we get some celebrity cameos from Jimmy Fallon, Alicia Keys, Chris Pratt, and even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Youngblood, I dig the track.
Guess what? Every single one of them also taken out of context. Jimmy and Alicia were talking about the Jem cartoon.
My sister watched it, not me.
Chris Pratt was talking about dating his sister's Jem doll as a joke.
Jem and I dated for like 6 weeks. It was pretty serious.
And The Rock was talking about Taylor Swift's song, Bad Blood. You know, the song this movie ripped off, that one.
You gotta make a track for me, by the way, next. Like Badass Blood. Actually, no. That sounds like something you don't want.
Congratulations! You won the limbo contest! Because this is about as low as you can possibly go. To put this in perspective, imagine if someone asked a Star Wars fan, "Hey, how much do you love Darth Vader?" "OMG, he's like the coolest dude in the movie! Like the awesomest character in the whole galaxy! He was the only good thing in the prequels." But then you made it sound like you were asking this. "Hey, how much do you love Jar Jar Binks?" "OMG, he's like the coolest dude in the movie! Like the awesomest character in the whole galaxy! He was the only good thing in the prequels." You must really hate your fans, don't you? To insult every single one of them and make it sound like they love a movie they haven't even seen yet. A movie they will most certainly hate upon seeing. You really can't do anything right, can you?
I might be having a secret identity crisis.
I just so happen to know the answers to all of life's problems. Breakfast.
I give Ryan Gootsman credit. At least he's trying. At least he's not just half-assing it like the script is. Point goes to a good actor in a bad movie. But then Jerrica learns that her aunt is so tight on money she's about to lose the house. So Jerrica asks Erica for an advance on her record deal paycheck.
Consider it done.
Oh, right, because this lady's been so nice in the past. And she would never ask for anything in return. Oh wait, none of that's true.
Like a solo contract?
An icon is not one of four. It's one of a kind. You are different. You're special.
Oh, sure. How many other people do you think she's given this exact same speech to? I can't tell, because from what I gather, all of her other pet projects failed miserably.
Otherwise, you would leave me no choice but to replace you. Anyone can be Jem. Nobody knows who she is.
And now she says something even dumber. Anyone can be Jem? She's already performed live, you dingbat! People have seen her. They know what she looks like. What do you think? Anyone can just put on a wig and everyone will be fooled? And even if you could get a lookalike for Jem, wouldn't people still notice that her voice was different? Hey guys, let the party! You're a Jem, bitches! Woo! Jem has left the building, bye! But seeing no other options to make fast cash, not even slapping a patent on the world's first conscious AI, she signs the solo contract without even discussing it with her sisters first. Even stranger, she springs the news on them right before the show. Oh hey, Jem's going solo. Do we forget to mention that? Sorry you wasted all that time in wardrobe and makeup. The sisters cuss her out, without even hearing her reasons why, then leave. Then she dresses as Lady Gaga's little sister in front of a sold-out crowd, but she can't be happy because she feels like she betrayed her sisters. And yeah, she kinda did exactly that. And now we get an even more shameful moment with Baskin-Robbins product placement and backdoor bragging advertising My Little Pony, a toy line also owned by Hasbro, just like Jem. But that's actually not the part I have a problem with. The problem is, they were so lazy, they used modern day products in a 90s flashback. I am not kidding. This flashback takes place in the year 1999, when the Baskin-Robbins logo looked like this. Not like this. And My Little Ponies looked like this. Not like this. All they did was buy the new dolls and hope no one would tell the difference. Guess what? I could tell the difference. And how much more lazy can you get? You just didn't give a flock, did you? You know, I want to feel bad for Jerrica, because she's just become every other pop star Erica ever signed. But at the same time, this is all her fault! She could have talked it over with her sisters, and no one forced her to sign that contract. You could have at least consulted them first! The band has a right to know when their lead singer is jumping ship. And guess what? If she had asked them, I guarantee they would have said yes. None of them want their aunt to lose the house. All you had to do was ask. One thing I find really funny is that they actually emphasize how cliched this is.
It's a story that's been told over and over and over again. Bands break up, but we were supposed to be different.
Exactly! Bands break up all the time! It's nothing new! What made you think you were immune to that? But alas, it would seem her actions have driven a spike into her family. The damage between she and her sisters is irreparable. Knowing nothing she can do now will win them back, she travels to the house she used to live in and reflects on her mistakes, all alone. Just kidding! Of course they make up! Almost instantly! And how do they do it? Take a guess. Just take a guess. Take a wild guess out of everything. See now.
Okay, that was weird.
By the way, how did they know she would be here? Or at this exact time? Ah, well, it doesn't matter, because they finally realized what the earrings were for! But it's not what you think! Turns out the earrings are the last piece to Synergy, and they need to go to Starlight Records to retrieve them.
The building's a fortress. There's no way you're getting in and out without some serious help.
Oh no, if only we knew the owner's son. Surely he can get you in. Or even if not, Erica doesn't know the earrings are special. Can't you just ask for them back? And why do you need to get the earrings back right now? Synergy waited over a decade to be called into action. I'm pretty sure it can wait another day. Whatever, now we have a shoehorned heist story that has nothing to do with the real story. Yippee. So they bribe Brad the valet to give them Erica's car so they can sneak in.
I want access. If you can get your mom to listen to that demo, then we're in business, Rio.
And then what? She's just going to instantly sign you? You know, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Riot from the Stingers, but they changed his name to Brad so it wouldn't give anything away. And if that's the case, that means they were setting up 2 different sequels in the first movie. Even Superman wasn't that overconfident. But it all goes awry when Erica comes to collect her car.
My key to my car. Find it now.
Someone stole it.
Okay, they should have made a movie about this guy. That would have been so much better than what we got. The gang sneaks in, and lucky for them, the guards are so bad at their jobs, they make Paul Blart look like RoboCop.
And the sisters. I can't believe that worked.
Getting is the easy part, getting out is like harder.
But wait, there's more! We get not 1, but 2 YouTube videos! One is for background music, and the other is used to distract the guards. And what did they use?
Robinson, check this out. It's a squirrel.
And the Marsgay Squirrel! The Marsgay Squirrel's in this movie! Yes, nobody even questions the fact that all their security monitors have gone down, or the fact that they're watching YouTube instead of looking for intruders. What is this? What are you doing? This is pathetic! Even the most inept guards in the world should not fall for this! Hello, brain surgeons, you're being hacked! Radio your boss and tell her!
That ought to buy them some time. Chubby and cute and delicious.
Clear. Thanks, Dr. Me.
No problem, regular me.
Sorry, that last scene was so stupid I just fell into a coma. And in other news, Rio and Jerrica hack into Erica's safe using the dumbest password in the world. Her own name. Really? What's your bank pin? 1, 2, 3, 4? Should probably change that, come to think of it. Inside the safe, they get Jerrica's earrings back, as well as the will Rio's father left to him. But Erica puts the building on lockdown and requires all people to show ID upon leaving the building.
Ma'am, we're gonna need to see some ID, please.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Oh, there's no problem. We actually don't need to see ID. I know exactly who you are.
Remember? She's got the glasses! And nobody else in the world can buy that pair of glasses. Kill me. Luckily, it turns out Squirrel Boy is kind of a brony for Jem, and he's excited to meet her and get an autograph.
Sorry, my daughter would kill me if I didn't get an autograph.
Of course, no problem.
You know, she says it's the new Let It Go. Is that
From
mine?
Frozen?
Yeah.
Let it go, let it go, let this movie go off a cliff.
Oh, it's fixed! I did it, I sure did! I fixed it!
What is your daughter's name?
You should put Steven.
Okay, I'm gonna go now, bye! Back in the house, Jerrica fits the earrings together and they glow! Does that mean they can now project holograms? No, she fits the final piece into Synergy, which makes it go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then we finally see an actual hologram of Jerrica's dad.
I knew I needed to leave you something, to try to teach you the lessons that I most wanted to pass on.
I could just give you a video recording of all these lessons, but you know, a scavenger hunt seemed like the more logical choice. More importantly, how did he know she would return to LA? Or bring Synergy with her? And even if she did, how do you know when she would do it? She could have been 80 by the time she went back to LA. Then she might not have felt like going on a scavenger hunt because her back would be killing her. And how did he know the Open Air Club wouldn't go out of business? Or that nobody else would take that guitar? Or that nobody else would find the secret compartment and take the second clue before Jerrica got to it? Or the first clue? Or that Jerrica's earrings wouldn't get lost or broken? There's just too many factors here, guy! Have you never heard of a video, Will? Come on!
So I built Synergy. She's my way of saying goodbye.
No. You cannot expect me to believe that toy has a gender. In the original, Synergy had a female likeness, so it made sense to call her a she. But this thing is a genderless robot! Give me a break, Kit Kat!
Just so you know, my greatest creation was never Synergy. It's always you and Kimber.
By the way, I didn't give your sister a cool robot or a scavenger hunt. I just gave you those things because I love you more. Talk about playing favorites. Then the crew heads to their last gig, where Synergy makes Jem's earrings glow. That's it. They just glow. They don't do anything else.
Showtime Synergy.
But Erica is furious with Jem for breaking into her office. But it's alright because Rio is there with his father's will, which states that he is the true heir to the record company. So he fires Erica, rehires Kimber, Shayna, and Aja, and takes the band in a direction he feels is best.
Zipper! Gentlemen, remove Miss Raymond from the concerts immediately.
What the? Now Zipper is a good guy? He burned down an orphanage! So Jem says some bullshit about self-expression, and the band plays the final song of the movie. Then we get even more fan clips taken out of context.
I struggled with my ideas of beauty.
I didn't know what this was, but all I saw was this lady with pink hair and star earrings.
And if you thought the first batch was lazy, ho, just you wait. These clips have fans wearing the Jem logo from the cartoon, not the movie. And they feature fans dressing up as characters that weren't even in the movie. But then, the coup de grace. As if it wasn't obvious enough that all these people were talking about the cartoon, there it is! Right there in the background. You actually left that in. Wow. You're not even trying to hide your laziness. Well, gang, in this one movie, we've insulted women, millennials, Africans, Asians, 80s fans, and anyone who liked the original show even a little. Who else could we possibly insult in the last 2 minutes of the film?
Lindsay Pierce, editor of Rolling Stone.
Of course, our final cameo of the movie, Jem creator Christy Marks, whom I can only assume ran backstage and cried her eyes out after seeing what they did to her beloved characters. Fun fact, not only did she create the show and write a good chunk of the episodes, but she's also the author of the Jem Bible, which is an instruction manual for any person making a Jem adaptation to follow. It gives extensive information about all the characters and allows anyone adapting these characters to write them accurately. A book that clearly no one working on this film read. And get this, at first, no one even told Christy that a Jem movie was in the works. No one even asked her to be an advisor on it, which Christy said she was very willing to do. And if she had been an advisor, I guarantee this movie would have been 50 times better. Christy Marx takes great pride in her work, and she wanted to give these characters rich backstories. It would have been easy for her to just make up some one-dimensional characters for a toy line, but no, she said, you know what? No one's gonna remember what Optimus Prime's personality was. No one's gonna remember what G.I. Joe's personality was. But they are sure as hell gonna remember what Jem's personality was. Christy went the extra mile when creating these characters because she wanted to create a universe, not just tell a forgettable story. She spent time and effort trying to make these characters interesting. And to this day, every single copy of the Gem Bible sold is hand-signed by her. Now that is an artist dedicated to her work. You wanna know who Gem really is? She's a working woman. She's an artist. She's dedicated. She goes the extra mile when she doesn't have to. As far as I'm concerned, Christy Marx is Gem. And you are insulting her with this movie.
What would they like to call the band?
How about Gem and the Holograms?
Unbelievable. In the last 2 minutes, you finally show Synergy making holograms? You couldn't have gotten to that any sooner! This movie is truly outrageous! Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. This is bad. I advise you to avoid this movie at all costs. It makes me sick just watching it. It's not even a so bad it's good movie. No, it's just an abysmal train wreck. It's a cliched story we've heard before about how someone becomes consumed with fame and it makes them question everything about themselves. But then they take it the extra mile with all the nonsense in between. It insults every group of people you could possibly imagine because it perpetuates stereotypes and gives a middle finger to anyone hoping for anything resembling the cartoon they loved. There is no Gem in this movie. There's someone called Gem, but she's not the Gem you know. The only thing that can make this worse is a sequel. Son of a bitch! So yes, they were so sure this movie would be a hit, they actually set up the sequel. How'd that work out for you? Having lost her record empire, Jerrica goes to recruit a punk rock band known as the Misfits, with the hopes that they can help her show up Gem.
Didn't she say she could just, replace us with some other band? How'd that work out for you?
I can see why you would be mad, but a lot has happened.
Wait.
Pizzazz.
Oh, great. Well, they get to ruin this character. Melissa McCarthy, Medea, Adam Sandler, and Drag. At this point, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they got any of those people. So who'd they get, huh? What terrible casting choice do we get for the leader of the Misfits? Is that Kesha? Kesha is playing Pizzazz? F***ing A! Oh, you finally did something right! What took you so long to get to this? They cast teenagers as 30-year-olds, a woman as a man, and a toy as a supercomputer, but in the very last scene, we finally get the best casting in the film with Kesha in the role she was born to play! In case you're not aware, Pizzazz is a troublemaking punk chick who likes to shake up the status quo. That's exactly who Kesha is!
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
You can't get much better casting than this. And on a side note, Kesha was a Gem fan in her youth, so you know she would have portrayed the character accurately.
Our songs are better. We're gonna get her.
Oh, yes you will. Or at least you would if this movie hadn't tanked so badly that a sequel will never happen now. Honestly, what were they going for with this? If you liked the show, you'll hate this movie. If you never watched the show, you won't care to see this movie. And if you're going to sell something to an age group, make sure it's an age group that cares about it! And not to mention, they had no holograms, no supercomputers, not even a cover of the Gem theme song. Even Josie and the Pussycats got that one right.
Josie and the Pussycats,
Like, hit me, man.
It's just never gonna stop.
I just can't figure out how this movie got so far off the rails. Was there another version of Jem they were adapting and I just didn't hear about it? Wait. Yes, there is another one. A line of Jem comics that came out in recent years. Let's take a look. Huh. Interesting. In the comics, Jem and her friends actually are millennials. And Jerrica really does have terrible stage fright. And the band actually does get discovered online, through YouTube. And the costumes in this movie are a far cry from the show. But compared to the comics, they actually look pretty close. Huh. You know, this whole time, everyone's been comparing this movie to the show. But it's actually got a lot more in common with the comic book series. Does that mean this actually is a good adaptation? No, it's still got a lot wrong with it. Even in the comics, Synergy was never a toy, Eric Raymond was never a woman, and the biggest thing of all, both the comics and the show are bright and uplifting. They're fun and inviting, except for Dark Gem, but even that was still kind of lighthearted. But this movie... Ugh. This movie's trying so hard to be something it's not. Jem is not supposed to be dark and depressing, yet you made this movie stone cold serious. It's just so sad so much of the time. There's no fun to be had anywhere. It's truly outrageous. I just wish I could find, even just once, a movie that shows it understands the source material. Not just like character names and story arcs, but a movie that really, really captures the spirit of... What's going on here? Why am I glitching out?
Welcome to the multiverse.
Who the hell are you?
The name's obvious. Dr. Obvious. And I need of your help.